Well, well. A couple of little theist boys want to have a go at me, huh? I could just ignore them, but nah, let's have fun with them instead.
Kind of discuss, uh, like,
Alright.
BionicDance's two, videos. Um, I think I think one of her main points is that, like,
Get on with it!
in her video that she says that, that,
Basically, she says that atheism is not a belief.
Now that is a steaming load of horse shit. Of course atheism is a belief. Atheism is all about belief. Or at least it's about non-belief. I don't believe in a god. I have never heard an argument for a god's existence that's convincing, therefore I don't believe in any. You think that atheism is supposed to be disbelief in a god, active assertion that there is no god. That's not atheism. That's a kind of atheism, but that's not everything atheism is. You're wrong about that. You only want that to be our position so it's easier for you to refute it.
and
It's kind of absurd if you think about it.
yeah, I mean, that means that, babies are atheists.
Well, how many gods do you think babies believe in? Of course they're atheists. Babies don't believe in gods, therefore they're not theists, which makes them da-da-da-da atheists. This is not rocket science, people. Do the fucking math.
And
Right.
agnostics are atheists.
Duh. Of course they're atheists. How many gods do agnostics believe in? None. That's what this is about. Theism is about belief in God. Gnosticism is about knowledge. That's what the word Gnostic means. Know. If you're a Gnostic, you know something. If you're a theist, you believe something. You can be an agnostic atheist. I am. You people have no clue. Come on, crack a book and study.
But I think it has some more to do with the whole, like, semantic thing, because they don't want to be with this label atheist, because the term atheist has negative connotations.
No, that's not it at all. It's that you think the label defines what I am, instead of me being what I am defines my label. If I don't believe in a god, then I'm not a theist. Therefore, I'm an atheist. But you think, no, you said you're an atheist, so you have to be a denier. You have to say there is no God. You have to be not an anti-theist, because that's someone who hates the idea of God, but you want me to be something I'm not because of the label I've put on myself, not because of the truth of the matter. And I'm telling you, no, I am a certain kind of non-believer. And that makes me an atheist. I'm calling that an atheist. But if you want atheist to mean something else, then guess what? I'm something else. Because I don't fit into your definition of atheist, and neither do a lot of people. It has nothing to do with negative connotations. It has to do with what we actually are and what we call ourselves. That's why we keep having this semantic argument, because you insist that we defend a position we're not holding. It's called a straw man argument. And we're not letting you get away with it anymore. I sure as hell am not.
What they'll do is redefine the term atheism to mean lack of belief in order to avoid all this semantic stuff and avoid all the negative connotations to the word.
Oh, I see. So you do want us to have that semantic argument. You do want us to have this fight where we have to defend what you tell us we are. Because that's the fight you think you can win. Because you know you can't argue against our actual position. You know you can't argue against what we really mean, what we say we are. You want to argue against the thing that's easy to refute. You want to argue against the thing that's familiar to you. Well, tough shit, pal. Either argue against what we actually mean or get out of this fight, because I have no interest in defending a position that I'm not actually taking. Seriously.
Now she obviously gives reasons for it, like, obviously in Greek means negation, and theos in Greek means God, so theos means no God.
Right.
But obviously, like, if you the suffix ist, if you add it, it means that there is a person who is who believes in a doctrine or a system of beliefs.
You see, They want to have this semantic argument. They want to have this argument that because it has the suffix ist on it, therefore it's a deliberately held position. Okay, fine. So come up with a word that means someone who holds no belief in any gods whatsoever, but isn't necessarily a deliberately taken position. Come up with that word, because that's the group I want to join. I don't believe in your God. I don't believe in their God. I don't believe in any of the gods that have actually been presented to me. I am open to the idea that maybe there's a God out there. If someone wants to prove that it's out there, if they can show it to me in a way that doesn't require faith, I might be in, at least as a believer, if not a follower. But if I'm not allowed to use the word atheist to describe that, then come up with another fucking word. Okay? Athean, atheitarian, what? I don't know. But come up with another word. Because I don't want to have a semantic argument. I want to debate the actual positions people hold. You don't. Clearly you don't. Clearly what you want to do is argue about a word because it's easier to do it. Because if you argue about the word, you don't have to actually confront the real problem with your own position.
For example, if you say deist, then that's obviously someone who believes in deism. If you say someone is a Marxist, it's someone who believes in Marxism. And yes, I am quoting Wiktionary there, so that's not my clever thing.
And an a-Marxist or an a-deist is someone who's not a Marxist or not a deist. That's what it means. Just because there's ist on the end of it doesn't mean that they are someone who has taken an explicit position. What it means is that the A at the front says that they are not someone who has taken a deliberate position. You're negating the ist along with the deism or the theism or the Marxism when you put that A on the front of it. Seriously. Now, I said I didn't want to have a semantic argument. I fucking don't. But you people are fucking stupid. You're nuts. You have no idea what you're talking about. Seriously. Not a clue. Okay? We could go round and round and round on this, and you'll probably never, ever give in. You'll probably never believe me. And even if I were to give in to you entirely, and I ask you for another word, a way to say atheist, I am not a theist, in a single word, you'll never give me that. Ever. Because that's not the argument you want to have. This whole thing is a disingenuous straw man, and we all know it.
The reason why the term lack of belief doesn't make sense, because the term lack of belief can mean so many different things. Because if you use the term lack of belief, all that will do is it'll turn into a semantic game where we have to decide, okay, what do you mean by the term lack of belief? Do you have no belief? Do you mean disbelief? That's why the term lack of belief, when it comes to atheism, doesn't make sense.
Oh, poor fucking baby. The world's more complicated than he likes. Oh, so sorry, pal. But if lack of belief is what we're talking about, there are so many different ways to lack belief. Get over it. Tough shit. See, like I've been pointing out this whole video, you just want to make your life easier. You want to make it so that the argument is easier for you to have, for you to refute. That's what you want. Well, guess what, pal? Life's tough. Get a helmet.
And also, if you, say lack of belief, then, well, doesn't that mean that non-theistic positions like verificationism and agnosticism are basically atheist positions? I mean, it's just basically saying that if atheism is a lack of belief, then atheism is just basically non-theism.
Ding, 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 ding! Give the boy a cigar. He actually got a clue. He got something right. Accidentally, but he got it right. Yeah, that's precisely what it is. Get over it.
That's very confusing as well.
Yes, exactly. Because, atheism does not mean non-theism. So non-theism can mean so many different things.
This is the problem with the theist worldview. They want it very black and white. Good and evil, bad and good, theism, non-theism, atheism. They want it all in neat little categories. There's no room in their world for a Venn diagram, for some overlap. None whatsoever. But I'm sorry, boys. Life's complicated. The world is complicated. And not everything gets wrapped up into neat little packages all the time. Seriously, you're gonna have to get used to it. There's nuance. Do you know the word nuance? I'm not sure you do. Your vocabularies seem awfully narrow-minded. But look it up, pal. Look it up.
Whereas atheism means you do not believe in God.
Yeah. Not believing in God. That's exactly what atheism means. I don't believe. It's not disbelief. It's not active disbelief. It's I don't believe. Someone who's never heard of God doesn't believe in God. Okay? Babies. Never heard of God. They don't believe. They're atheists. You just said it yourself.
Whereas atheism means you do not believe in God.
Okay? Atheism means you don't believe in God. It doesn't matter how you don't believe in God. It just matters that you don't. That's what an atheist is. Moron.
Or any kind of God at all. Because theism covers all sorts of theistic belief. Whereas non-theism is not... Okay, I just lost my train of thought. But you get what I'm talking about.
I get that you're full of crap. Seriously, what you just said? Utterly meaningless. Atheism, non-theism. They're synonyms, pal. They mean the same thing. Get over it.
Yeah, I mean, if I lack a belief in, like, consequentialism, is that telling you, like, what I believe on morality?
No,
it's not telling you anything.
It doesn't have to. All it tells you is your stance on consequentialism. Just like me being an atheist, it tells you my stance on the existence of a God. You're trying to turn atheism into some sort of lifestyle choice. It's not. It's a position on the existence of deities. That's it. It's not my fault that religion comes with dogma, with rules for how to live your life. You want atheism to be some sort of mirror image, like a yin and yang of theism, where it comes with all these doctrines and expectations of you. It doesn't. It's an answer to one question. Do you believe in a God? No, I don't. I'm an atheist. Do you believe in God? Oh, you're a theist. People can believe in a God and not have all that dogmatic crap. They don't have to have a holy book. They can just go, Magic Man, up in the sky. That's all they have to do. That makes you a theist. All the extra baggage, that's something else entirely. I'm not sure I'll ever convince you of that, but maybe there's someone out there who has a frickin' clue, who's actually listening to what I'm saying, instead of just going off like you two.
Yeah, and also, like, I think in her second video she says that, like, if agnosticism isn't anything to do with belief, it's to do with knowledge. But I think this is a really weird semantic term, because if you ask someone, like, do you believe aliens exist? And they say, I'm agnostic on it. You do know what they mean.
Yeah, I know what they mean. They mean, I don't know. They mean they don't know. They mean they're reserving judgment. They're gonna wait and see. That's what an agnostic is when it comes to God, too. I don't know if there's a God. I'm gonna wait and see, 'cause I don't know. Yeah, that's what an agnostic is. An atheist is someone who says, I don't actually believe. It's not someone who says, I deny. It's someone who says, I don't believe. That's all it says. Maybe they do deny. Maybe they don't. Maybe they're agnostic about God, and that's why they're an atheist. Or maybe they're pretty goddamn sure that there's no goddamn God, and that's why they're an atheist. Or maybe they hate the idea that a God might exist, and so they deny it deliberately. And that's why they're an atheist. But regardless, agnosticism is about not knowing. It's about reserving judgment. That's exactly what it is. Atheist and agnostic are not mutually exclusive. There are plenty of agnostic atheists out there. I'm one of them, pal.
This is maybe just more of a personal critique, but she usually refers to all of her people in her videos as, like, idiots, and to me that kind of doesn't.
It's very condescending.
Yeah, it does feel like it does kind of feel like she's teaching us like we're intellectually inferior.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, poor baby. Is no one treating you fair? If you want to be treated like you're not intellectually inferior, start demonstrating that you're not. Seriously. I mean, I can pound and pound and pound all day, but nothing ever gets through your thick skull, does it? I mean, I can use reason, I can use logic, I can use evidence, I can use historical references, I can use science, I can use math, I can use astronomy, astrology, genetics, all kinds of stuff. Geography, geology, archaeology, nothing ever gets through. Nothing can ever debunk your God to you because you're faith heads. Well, why the hell should I use kid gloves? Why should I treat you with respect I don't feel, that you haven't earned? Why should I? Give me a good reason. Just so we keep having these debates? Nuh-uh. Why should I debate with a complete chowderhead? If you want respect, earn it. You haven't yet.
She does this on purpose because by insulting the people, by insulting your viewers and all this stuff, it really shows that you don't really have an argument.
Well, isn't that just the world's biggest cop-out? Oh no, you insulted me, so I don't have to actually argue with you. I don't have to debate with you. 'Cause you were mean to me. Oh, yeah, right. I've made perfectly cogent arguments. Maybe they weren't couched in the most civil of terms. Get over it. If you can't answer them, you're the one without an argument, pal.
And obviously, like, you know, Chris, and obviously Theists and Atheists are guilty of this too.
Oh yeah. I've been guilty of this too, so I'm not sinless, you know.
Yeah. We're all guilty of it, in a sense.
So, let me see if I got this right. That means you don't have an argument either?
But I don't think she makes even a conscious effort to even avoid being condescending. She does this on purpose because, in a sense, she's trying to hide the fact she doesn't really have a legitimate argument.
Yeah.
Cop out!
And also another problem is that she always asks, like, what do we call, you know, babies who have no belief in God? And it's like, how about non-theism? Because that is actually a word. But if, you know, atheism is just a lack of belief in God, then what do we call the belief that there is no God?
Have you never heard of strong atheism versus weak atheism? Because those are distinctions people make. Clearly you guys are ignorant of the facts, ignorant of the issues, ignorant of the terminology. You have no idea what you're talking about. You're arguing against something that's complete and utter bullshit, and you're making semantic arguments. You're talking about, what do we call it? Instead of, what is this? What does it mean? How do we argue for or against it? You're not making a real argument. You're just trying to strawman my position into making me argue for or against something that I don't hold. That's the only reason you're having this whole discussion in the first place. I mean, seriously. I'm sure, you know, yeah, I spent about 20-some minutes on this, but it's still a waste of time. I'm just enjoying calling you out, so it's not that much of a waste. But still, guys, come on. This is dumb. This is chowder-headed. Are you really, really that pathetic? Really? Annoyingly, this download was corrupted. I downloaded it twice. It's corrupted in the same spot, so I don't know what the hell's going on, but you get the idea. I mean, they basically just keep making the same arguments over and over. What do we call it? I don't like the names you choose. Okay, it's the same bullshit over and over and over. But the fact remains that I do have a point. I do have a position. I do have a valid argument. And maybe, just maybe, I'm done being nice to you people. Maybe the kid gloves have come off. Maybe I'm sick of it. Maybe I'm sick of playing the game. But that doesn't mean that my arguments are invalid. It just means I'm sick and tired of your bullshit. I'm sick and tired of your hard-headedness. Maybe that's what it means. So, the next time you decide to just try to call me out for bullshit, save it. Seriously, unless you have an actual argument against the position I truly hold, I don't want to hear from you. I really don't. I'm not interested in your semantic games. I'm interested in whether or not you can prove that God is real, or that atheism is false, or if atheism is true. That's what I want to hear from you people. Nothing else. Please take the time to rate this video. And hey, if you dig what I do, subscribe. You might also enjoy my webcomic, The Adventures of Kinneara Baxter. You'll find a link in the info bar. Come on, give me a thumbs up. You know, like the fawns. Hey!